Okay, let's match an opponent. Peralta. Let's see. So in this kingdom we have draw. Wharf is a very good draw. It nets you one card the turn you play it, and then it non-terminally draws you 2 cards the turn afterwards. Experiment's like a little one-shot draw. I guess 2-shot technically because you buy it and you get a second experiment. And it's like buying a laboratory that goes away after you play it. Fishing Village is action. Shantytown is action. Trashing. The only thing we can immediately trash here is we can trash actions and stuff with improve, but because Pixie's in the kingdom, one of our coppers is replaced with a goat. Goat's a pretty good trasher, partly just because you get it so early that it has time to work its magic. So you can definitely trash, and we got plus buy. Wharf is plenty of plus buy. Storm is plus buy. Not that I see us getting that. And then Pixie has all sorts of random stuff because you can get any number of boons. So there's definitely an engine to be built here. We have the advantage of getting a 2/5 and a kingdom with Wharf around. Oh well, not as much of an advantage as I was about to say it is, because we got goat, and I would love to trash. It's really good if you can trash a card before the first reshuffle. That means your next shuffle is much cleaner. It has like 1 less estate in it. And so I could either trash the copper, but then not afford Wharf, or I just have to forego trashing to get the nice card. Wharf is probably good enough. I mean, there's nothing else nearly comparable in strength here. Wharf is very strong draw, and I think that if we get Wharf going on quickly, given that our main draw is goat, and we only have one of those, being able to draw around to goat more often might expedite trashing anyway. Do I want a second Wharf already? Maybe. So I'm going to see all 5 of these cards plus 2 more next turn, 3 more next turn, because one of those is a Pixie, which will draw. So I could just add another Wharf. I could add like a Pixie and a Fishing Village. We just want Wharfs and Fishing Villages, I think, for the most part. And then we add some treasures and maybe like a bank or 2. Bank is just like a treasure that gets more powerful the more other treasures you have in play. And with Wharf, I think we can draw a decent number of other treasures. Then again, I mean, Fishing Village is gonna kind of gunk that up. Let's play for the. Let's just get another Wharf. I'm not sure. Pixie Fishing Village was defensible. Pixie and then like put Fairy on Wharf. Pixie Fairy on Fishing Village. Any of those could work. I'm just kind of hoping there's a decent chance that with the 2 cards coming in from Wharf plus the 1 draw from Pixie, if I can find that other Wharf, which it doesn't look like I can, I cannot. Then I'd be in a real good spot. I could pop this. I'd have 4 buys. So what if I like popped that, put Fairy on Fishing Village? I'd have 7 coins, 2 from this and 5 from that. I'd have 4 left, and I have 3 more buys to spend. I could buy like a bunch of Fishing Villages. It's kind of sounding appealing to me. Or I could put Fairy on Wharf. I like that less. I could put Fairy on Pixie, and just the Pixies would be totally free. Which of those cards do I want to spam the most? Probably Fishing Village. If I get an excess of Fishing Villages, then I can just load up my deck with Wharfs with Reckless Abandon. So I think I'm going to try to do that. This is not where I wanted the Wharf to be, because now if I draw, I'm drawing into a deck full of actions, and very well might draw 1 dead. But certainly we're still in a good spot. What have they been doing? They put Fairy on Wharf. That makes sense. I don't know why they didn't open Wharf. Did they? Maybe they had a 5 copper hand, kind of similar to us. So they elected not to get the Wharf early. We considered that and then decided against it. I could just advance these into Wharfs. Nah, I got a Wharf coming up. I think I'll be fine. Advance just lets you trash an action card to gain any other action costing up to 6. And so I was considering, Wharf is stronger than Fishing Village, so I could just kill off the Fishing Village to get a Wharf. Not gonna say for sure that was the wrong play, but I didn't do it. All right. Now I for sure want more Wharves. How to get this quickly? Maybe I move the the Fairy token over to Wharf now. We can get 2 more Fishing Villages, and maybe do that next turn. We're even on wharves. I don't want to fall behind. Now, piles are going to get really low here. And experiment is a very easy pile to empty because although there's 10 cards, every time you buy one of them, you get another one. So experiment is sort of functionally like a 5-card pile, which can make it very easy to pile out even when it's totally full. All right, so he's got 4 wharves. A little bit of lag here. Not a lot, but enough that I can feel it. All right, let's get another wharf, and I'm going to put the fairy token on experiment, just so I'm threatening that pile out at all points in time now. We'll have plenty of buys with our wharves, and so I think he should now have to play around that. Do I have a wharf in play? I do not. Let's see. He trashes. He's trashed 4 cards. Jay trashes. I've trashed 3. That makes sense. He did trash 1 more copper at the start. So he's got a slightly thinner deck. I probably should have gone a little heavier on wharf. I think this was probably a slight misplay. I'm not sure if that meant ferrying wharf or I don't know about that. Now we can very viably pile out. If we can get like all of our wharfs in play, which is still not the most likely thing, but quite possible. I don't want that. All right, we're still a little ways from piling out. I don't want the golds. I'm gonna trash the copper because I want to have this point. Because again, I just want to empty these next turn. So maybe we just take like province and experiment. What makes sure I'm gonna have hella draw coming in. 3 wharfs here. I got a wharf down there. I don't need a whole lot of money to buy a bunch of experiments, so let's just do that. We're not going to play for the long game. We're going to play for the very short game. I don't think he can do like province, estate, quadruple experiment this turn, although he does have plenty of buy. Yeah, he still lacks the payload, I think. But we don't want to play the long game when he has 6 of the wharfs. The wharf is the key card in this kingdom. We did fall behind on that. Could chalk it up to him being player 1. That's possible that it was the cause. I also think I felt like I was getting fewer wharfs than I could have. Maybe I should have just varied wharf earlier. In any case, I don't know. He seems to have been playing kind of cavalierly with lowering piles. And so I think we might be able to win anyway. He's got to buy province here. He has to, absolutely has to buy province. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's enough to save him, but that was definitely a necessary buy. Because we are very much threatening to do things here. In fact, we probably still have to win. This takes 4 buys. We have 5 buys. That's enough to buy it and take the points lead. This should be a win. Don't need to trash anything. So we can advance one of these. It saves us a coin, not that it really matters. We can buy the other 3. And we better buy province. Alright, key takeaways from that game. So the biggest one I think is you got to be very careful about 3 piles, especially in a game with a lot of buys. Wharf was giving huge numbers of buys. There was a bunch of cheap piles like Pixie and Experiment. I feel like the putting fairy on an experiment should have been a huge giveaway about our strategy. Yeah, I think he flew too close to the sun there. He had, I think, probably the better deck. Like he was gonna be in a good spot anyway. We had more fishing villages, but that's not that key with wharves. Certainly winning the wharf split is more important. I think he should have just played a little safer. Maybe left 1 or 2 of the fishing villages. Yeah, like even if you can't get the fishing villages, like fishing village is better than Shantytown, but like if you really need action, Shantytown was also there, so you could get villages anyway in a pinch. You weren't going to be starved of villages. And had the game gone longer, he would have been in a very good spot. We had like no payload. We had 5 coppers on a goat and just fish villages. So certainly this is not a deck built to win the long race. Yeah, and then again, I think that I'm not exactly sure where I went awry. I feel like I definitely misplayed the opening. Maybe it was that play where I should have advanced Fishing Village. Maybe that was the right move. Maybe it was I should have bought Fury on Wharf earlier. It could be that his opening was right. We did contemplate and then ultimately reject just trashing the copper. It could be that just trashing the copper and getting to Wharf later is fine if you're putting Fury on Wharf earlier. But I feel like you don't want to get behind on Wharfs, and we did. And maybe had piles not run out, that would have been a big concern.